a podcast network. This is the Lifestyle Live Podcast.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
On this week's episode of the Lifestyle Live podcast, Cody talks to funny man Frank Caliendo from Mad TV. You probably remember him from his impression of John Madden doing those cooking infomercials. Hilarious. But you can see him live this weekend at Helium Comedy Club. Cody was laughing immediately after he finished this, so I know it's going to be a good one. Take a listen.
Lifestyle Live.
What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
If your dog could talk, they'd beg for Ollie. The full-body tail wag, the excited little hops, the big goofy grin, that's the Ollie effect. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. Made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients, Ollie's food contains no fillers, no preservatives, just real food. With 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries, even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box.
Lifestyle Live.
A comedian, actor, and impressionist known for his impeccable comedic timing and spot-on impressions, now coming here to the Circle City. Frank Caliendo going to be at Helium Comedy Club Thursday, April 10th. But he first had to make a stop here to talk with us. Frank, thank you so much. This is a genuine pleasure, man. This is a blast.
Yeah, great to be on with you. I almost went Morgan Freeman, and that's when I realized there might be a couple of technical glitches. See how I did that? Just work it in.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman was there to narrate me through. We understand what we're doing here. Frank's holding the phone right now, and that's a product of a lot of different things. Like when I said, yeah, I'd love to do a Zoom, and I didn't think about having a tripod or anything like that, and I hadn't worked out properly before because I'm getting a little tired, but I'm going to make it through. I'm a trooper. That's what this is all about.
Starting to shake a little bit. Like
yeah, I'm actually leaning them forward on a desk, looking for it. Now, see, look at this. Can you imagine if this was my house, how I decorated it?
Just impeccable design. Like you can tell that they went straight for the best to make sure that
straight with the standard right out of the catalog. Not even something to buy, just something in the background.
You probably get asked this question a million times, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I'm curious. What was the first impression that you remember doing? Is there one that you're like, oh, that was it? That's where this is going to take off?
Well, in terms of characters, like impressions that I would do of friends would be one thing. Friends and teachers, that would be in middle school to high school. And then as far as famous people, I think a freshman, sophomore in college, I jutted my chin out and I was like, hey, how would you like the nacho cheese flavored Doritos? I was doing a Leno impression. Now, in between those two, actually, I would watch In Living Color or Saturday Night Live and do what everybody does is do impressions of other people's characters. So the Leno thing in high school is probably the one. And along the way, Muppet voices, probably as a younger kid, and also some cartoon voices, you know. And even the "Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here," you know, that kind of thing, or the Fozzie Bear, waka waka waka. So those, I actually use those nowadays to explain voices to people. If you take Kermit the Frog, that nasally thing up in here, hi ho, this right in here, and you bring it down, it becomes John C. Reilly. Did you touch my drum set? That kind of a thing right there. Yeah, add some air to it, becomes Mark Ruffalo. I see this as an absolute win. Now you bring it down even more. And it becomes Paul Giamatti. I believe that is one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my entire life. You add a little edge to it, and it becomes Jack Nicholson. Paul Giamatti, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger. So they're all right in there.
That is wild.
Yeah, and that's what you do. Is you just if you can learn to control those little parts of your voice, it's like anything. I grew up playing sports. And when we were kids, we used to practice. Now kids train. They train specific muscles and stuff like that, and movements. So that's kind of what it is. If you can. Tighten your throat or whatever, and you can get these. They're basically like card tricks. I mean, it's working the same thing, and it's repetition. And I talk a lot more with my hands normally, but I'm holding the phone.
Sure, naturally, so they've got to do what they have to do. I get that. Your impressions in the sports world. Obviously, you worked for ESPN, Fox NFL Sunday for a long time. And Mel Kiper is like the first one that comes to my mind when I think
the draft.
Yeah.
And there's two guys that mainly talk about the NFL draft, or used to. It's a little different now, but growing up, two guys that talk about the NFL draft. One guy's name is Todd McShay. He's normal. The other one's Mel Kiper Jr. And if you don't know what he looks like, he's kind of a cross between Sam the American Eagle from the Muppets and Count Chocula. And every time McShay would start to talk, he'd cut him off going, Todd, and I turned that up of 500 levels to Todd. I think I set a record for 25 straight Todds on ESPN, which is never going to be beaten because they'll never let that happen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the sport. People know me. The interesting thing about my stand-up shows may be 15% sports. It's not really even about the sports. It's the sports characters talking about regular things. But I even liken it to almost like a newscast where there's sports, weather, and some puppy dog stories. And that's kind of what my act is like. Just a little bit of me being fun and goofy. And then, you got the sports and weather together on the fives.
Well, is there any impression that you just can't nail down, that you've tried over and over?
If you haven't heard me do it, I can't do it. Probably. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, I try to find a take on the person. Like when I'm talking about Robert Downey Jr., it's like he belches halfway through a sentence. I mean, that's the way he does it. So Jeff Goldblum, ooh, yes, he just thinks out loud. That's what, if you write for Jeff Goldblum, just think of Jeff Goldblum is basically the tourist and the tour guide talking to each other. Like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, I'll tell you here. That's the Statue of Liberty. You wonder. Ooh, yes, of course. Where did it come from? I'm about to tell you. Yeah. So those types of things are fun to me.
What I feel like I'm just blowing your head up here a little bit talking about this, but one of my favorite things about you as well is that it's not gimmicky, because impressions can become very gimmicky very quickly and very easily.
I think what it was is most impressionists were vaudevillian.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. The internet's changed that a little bit. I grew up watching Robin Williams and Jonathan Winters, and they did more characters with little bits of impressions, but Jonathan Winters, for the older folks, should remember. And then Robin Williams, of course, an amazing thing. Who knew? Okay. So those were the types of influences on me. And that's why I think I did not become that vaudevillian. What if Jack Nicholson was making your McDonald's right now or something like that?
It just becomes like a bad improv joke, like improv show for like an hour. It just gets old very quickly. And you've avoided that. Talking about your stand-up tour, it feels like it's never ending. You're constantly on the road, and I'm sure you may feel that way as well. But does it ever get old? Just even like right now, you and I talking, every time you switch in and out of character, my eyes, I feel like, are getting bigger because I'm just amazed. And that's happening in the crowd too. Does that ever get old to you?
No, I think just the fact that I'm so incredibly brilliant is
yeah.
I don't know. It's just what I do. People seem to like it, and it is fun to watch people. Sometimes it's like they're opening a Christmas present, opening a present Christmas morning. That's kind of fun. Morgan Freeman's one of those. I even got shocked that, Shaquille O'Neal's like, I can't believe that's coming out of your mouth. That kind of a thing. So those are the fun moments to me when people, and especially when they see it live, they're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I got a friend who does an impression, but he has to turn around and change his coat.
Last thing I'll ask you, do you have a favorite impression?
When they're new, they're the most fun, but people don't always get them when they're new. Yes, and but Morgan Freeman and a couple that I've already done. I don't know why Robert Downey Jr. is one that I love so much, but it's just enjoy. He's like a human Twitter feed, 280 characters or less. Everything's about himself. We're giving out an Academy Award, which is supposed to be about the nominees, but turn it back to him like, these people deserve your applause almost as much as I do. #awesome. Yeah. So I think it's when I look up to the person, I think it's more fun to do the impression of them. Morgan Freeman's the same way, and that's when Frank realized if he put that person on a pedestal, that's why he liked to do the voice.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I think obviously people have loved it for a long time. They're going to continue to love it, and they have the chance to enjoy it here at Helium in Indianapolis. Tickets starting at $37. Well worth it to go see one of the best in the world do what he does. We'll have all the information on our website as well. Frank, thank you so much. This was a genuine pleasure, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Great to talk to you.
Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
For more comedians, more laughs, and more fun events, tune into Lifestyle Live every weekday at 10 a.m. See you there.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at lifestylelive.tv.
Faces you know and a team you can trust.